Welcome to another Quantum Conversation, brought to you by AcousticHealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and I invite you to sit back as we enter the quantum realm, that space of the greater part of you. It is your connection to infinite possibilities, infinite potential, and infinite mastery. And in today's conversation, we are talking about expanding in crystalline, receiving light codes, and actually accessing our multidimensionality where we can create and anchor into new earth. My guest today is a channel and master ascension guide and a crystalline grid activator. Zoe Davenport is here with us from the area of Glastonbury in the UK, very near the sacred land of Glastonbury. Let's welcome Zoe to our show. Thank you so much for being here, Zoe.
Oh, what a pleasure, and thank you, Loren, for having me on, and hi to everyone that's listening. So much love to all of you, and I'm really, really excited for what is going to come through for us in this conversation. I'm really excited.
Yes, and we thank you for joining us live here in the late hours in the UK. Let's talk about the current energies and actually your journey. You travel the world and you go to different portals, different dimensional areas, and then make your way back to the area near Glastonbury where you are. And something happened to you recently with the 8/8 Lionsgate. So share with us about the current energies, how you've been integrating them, and where you've been in your journey to get them and receive them.
So a big part of my service is working with the grids, working with the crystalline grids. I am guided to specific places around the world and do work opening and activating crystalline portals, rainbow portals, to bring in certain dimensional frequencies. And with each trip that I've been on, I'm then always guided to come back to Avalon, back to Glastonbury, and anchor and activate the portals that I've opened and align them to the frequency of Glastonbury and vice versa. And so this year in particular was really interesting. When I went back to Glastonbury, there is a space there called the White Spring, and it's known as the divine masculine area of Glastonbury. And what it is, this really old stone building that has a natural spring running through building. It's all stone. It's very medieval, and in the middle they have this kind of plunge pool, and just this natural water just running like from the plunge pool all on the down the walls and along the floor. There's no lighting in there. There's no electricity. It's run by volunteers. So you leave a donation and they light candles, and the sticks in there is beautiful, and it's very kind of, it is literally like walking into this medieval kind of Avalon space and time. And I've been to many like portals around the world. I've traveled a lot, and I've gone and seen many exhibitions and lots of like amazing experiences. But this particular place for me is probably one of the most activating portals that I've ever come across for my part, and I know so many others. And so whenever I go in there, there's always different frequencies that want to come through to align me to be ready to share this with humanity. And so this summer, when I went back in there, the known as the Lion Council, the Lion people, started to make themselves very known to me. I've known of them over the past few years, but I've never really worked specifically with them until this summer. And so I was feeling them for a few months before I went back to Glastonbury, and when I went there, they made themselves very, very known, and that they would be attuning me through sound and light language, and that then I would be bringing this through to humanity, because that's what happens to a lot of us on our paths is, you know, we work in time dimensions, and then we bring the frequency down into a human experience, and then we can share it, and that helps to shift the lower experiences of like the third dimension, fourth dimension. And so when I was in there, a lot of the work that I do with my clients through one-on-one sessions and the group programs is through light language and sound activation. And so when they were working with me through the sound, the acoustics of the place was just, I felt every single cell of my being, every single piece of DNA just like literally vibrating in resonance to this harmony, this sound of just divine love. And what those activations provided me with was a platform of just this complete understanding and knowing of our creative potential through the crystalline frequencies that are available to us in our awakening and ascending mission. So this is part of the crystalline grid of Gaia, but it's also about our individual crystalline grid. It's about our individual crystalline ascending light bodies. And because this frequency is the frequency of love, it's the frequency of play, it's the frequency of joy, it's inviting us into this really yummy, nurturing, expanded space to create truly the reality that we wish to receive, the experience that we wish to receive, that is in such congruency with the cities of gold, you know, the new age cities that many of us have been channeling through. And so this particular summer, the Lionsgate in particular, the eclipse coming into September now is probably some of the most phenomenal shifts I've experienced in my ascension path to date. I mean, 2017, it really is that accelerated path, and there's so much potential for us to really, I mean, there's that continuous of letting go and creating space, letting go and creating space. But this year in particular, these key portals, these key activations, we are literally quantum jumping through infinite time codes, infinite time fields that are maybe aligned even yesterday and they're not aligning now. And we have this potential as we keep stepping into this awareness to really keep aligning to ourselves and attaching our bestest, most beautifulest version of self in our expansion. We don't have a choice anymore. Those that are on this path, which is all of you guys listening to this at this particular point, we don't have a choice but to keep anchoring this frequency in, because we are creating the new paradigm with this frequency. And when we try and go back into lack, into scarcity, into fears, into all these stories, there is no resonance for us there anymore. And that's why so many have been finding some of these energies very intense, because you've got to kind of ease yourself into it by letting go of anything that you thought you would be doing at this point. It really is such an integral time to just open your heart and just jump off the cliff, literally just jump off the cliff and allow this beautiful, loving frequency to catch you and hold you and help you to create, help you to truly create the experiences that you came here to have and to enjoy. So yeah, It's beautiful. It's really beautiful.
Well, so you called it the Lion Council, the Lion, not Lyran from Lyra, but the Lion
Lion,
Council.
lion, yeah.
Is it the same? Is it the same
Yeah.
Lyra? Okay. Well, can you share a little bit more about their message then, or how they prepared you?
Sure. So, well, I can speak my truth of how they've been working with me and what they were wanting me to share.
Mm-hmm.
They are here to remind you essentially of your creative potential, that you are the master manifestor, that you are the creator of your experience. There's no more messing around with autopilots or of manifestation of your experience. Every morning when we wake up, we have a choice. We can wake up and align to love through gratitude, or we can align to fear through thinking about what happened yesterday or last year or the year before that. It's really, truly up to us now as the pioneers of the new paradigm to be calling to us every single moment of the day, bring me the highest, most divinely aligned experience of my reality, of my frequency, of my potential. And so they've been coming in to help anchor in these frequencies. So if I could explain in ways that would be tangible to a human, so say you have a blank canvas and you have color, and you have nothing to paint in front of you, and you're asked to use your imagination. And so you don't really know what the end picture is, painting is going to look like, but you just make a start. So you grab some color on your blank canvas and you have fun with it, you're present with it, you enjoy with it. And there's this moment with painting where you get to a certain point and it's almost like you just intuitively know the painting is done. That last brush stroke, that's when it's done, and then you sign it. And so this is kind of what they're wanting to get us into this understanding of, is manifesting reality. It should be fun, it should be enjoyable, it should be playful. So if you have these crystalline frequencies and you imagine the big wide blank space of the unknown, i.e. what's going to happen in the future, what's going to happen tomorrow, if you imagine this beautiful, yummy space of really not knowing and trusting that it doesn't matter that you don't need to know, use that as your canvas and start tuning into this frequency through grounding, through sound codes, through activations, and through play, through joy. And you can start to create these brush strokes onto your canvas, onto this unknown. And what happens then is you start stepping into alignment with creating through source frequency, creating through love, creating through being present with your experience of joy, and not necessarily needing to know what the picture's going to look like, but kind of almost knowing when you're finished creating it, when that last brush stroke is placed. And when that last brush stroke is placed is when you align to the experience that you're creating from those frequencies. And so we have this potential as a collective to really get creative and have a lot of fun with the experience of being human. You know, we're not meant to be down here in continual suffering as we work through lifetimes of karma. I mean, yes, there's a lot of deep inner soul work that has to happen in order for a person to gain access to their multidimensional capacity. But also alongside that, we can play, we can be in joy, and in fact those are some of the most fundamental building blocks of our awakening experience anyway. And so they've been coming in and just really wanting us to get messy. They want us to get our hands in the mud. They want us to be really sensual, loving with our human experience, like waking up in the morning and just being so in love with the duvet that we have, and so in love with our toothbrush, and in love with the breakfast that we're eating, and the people that we have in our lives, and stepping outside into the world and smelling the flowers and getting really connected with the trees and the people that are walking past us, and just literally just stepping into this beautiful, beautiful crystalline experience when we're totally there, grounding and opening our hearts. And so they are really enjoying working with us in this capacity at this time, because it's like they're not in this physical form like we are in earth, and so we're these beautiful children, these conduits of divine energy. As we get to play, we get to skip, we get to dance around, and you know, I know reality isn't all rainbows and unicorns, but the more we align to that, the more we giggle and call in our fairies and the elementals and get mischievous, the more we align, the more we create that new paradigm. So it's been a really, for me, like, I'm just trying to share, like, the experiences of this summer alone, and it's just so beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And you know, people listening to this, it's like, get your hands in the paint, get your hands in this energy, feel it, open your hearts to it. It's there for you because it's part of you. You are your own creator. You are your own guide. You are your own frequency. You are your own master. You are your own guru. And that's what they want for us, is for us to really start stepping into this ownership of who we are, of our capacity, of our potential. So yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Well,
It's beautiful.
I love that. There is no more messing around at all. We are the pioneers of the new paradigm, and really it is a time to get creative and play and have joy. It couldn't be any easier than that. And you know, we really get in our own way when we're not able to do that and allow these energies, you know, because some people, we do get caught up looking at the old paradigm crumbling. Some of us do, but this is where we really have to, as you said, take ownership of our potential and open to this frequency, and actually be aware when we are closing down our hearts and getting distracted. I know you're going to do a sound activation for us to download some of these light codes, but I want to talk a little bit about your embodiment process. You said this summer was just off the charts for you. What has been your embodiment process so far? Can you help define that for all of us?
Sure. So for me, there are various ways to understand embodiment. There are various ways to embody embodiment. There are various ways to own embodiment. And essentially, the starting point of embodiment is really, really, really stepping into the truth of who you are and owning your truth and sharing your truth and letting go of any third-dimensional ideals or fears of what would happen to you if you were embodying your truth. So that, for me, is that human experience, is getting out of your own way and letting the ideas of preconceived ideas of what other people think of you when you are just sharing your light. Because the more that you show up for yourself, the more you embody your truth, the more frequency you can hold, the more you can expand, the more of your multidimensional capacity to come in for you, the more you can receive guidance from your guides. And then from that embodiment, you go into a stage further where you really start to understand and own that you are your universe. You are the creator of your universe. And then a step further to that is you start to really understand that because you are your universe, because you are your creator, you have everything at your fingertips. You have the infinite expanded knowledge of the universe in your heart. And there comes a point, and I was saying to you, Loren, before we got on to the interview, there comes a point where you embody everything that the kind of experiences with your guides and beings, it doesn't really, it's not as kind of segregated as it was. It's just there, like within your heart. This knowing, this deep, deep, deep knowing is just always there for you. The amount of time that it takes for you to get into that aligned space to receive those higher frequencies, it's just there. You're just embodied in that high frequency 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And at first, when you start to go through that, it's like, well, I'm kind of used to having these different beings of light, and you know, for me, they come and go, and I can tune into different frequencies. But when I'm just being in my divine, yummy, feminine, open, awake, heart-centered space, I feel the universe is in my heart. And so when I'm wanting to channel through information or understand things, it's just there in my heart. There's no energetic distance that I need to take to go to a different dimension to receive that understanding. It's just here in the now, in the present. And really, you start to really understand the concepts and processing of reality itself, and you start to go through these stages of, you become almost like supersonically slow with your experience. So it's almost like you stop time and you can observe your thoughts, and you really start to see how many of these fragmented thoughts create your reality and how they create your reality. And I've been having some fun with this the past couple of weeks with my thoughts and manifesting, and there's never been such a time to get really, really specific with what you need. And I think many people are always kind of trying to manifest, but we manifest everything, but they're trying to consciously manifest. And they're not getting quite what they wanted to experience in the way that they thought. But when you actually really, really slow yourself down, you do get to kind of observe the thoughts as they are creating your reality. It's almost like you get this data bank, and you're reminded of the feeling that you had when you had that thought, and then how that thought has created form and come into your experience. And this is for me, like to have such clarity with this. This is really new. This is a really fun thing that's been coming through the past few weeks. And I think collectively we are moving into a new frontier with this awareness of the way that we manifest. It's and that embodiment process. Just really, each stage of that embodiment is really stepping into your knowing. Each time just stepping into your knowing, grounding, opening your heart and living from your heart, manifesting from your heart, feeling from your heart, receiving from your heart. It's all from your heart.
Yes, yes, very, very, very powerful, and why we really need to stay grounded and anchored actually in the heart. And you said actually a really good word, this observation. Observe our thoughts, and with yourself you were able to see how those thoughts were creating your reality. So what would your advice be for someone who needs to shift the thought? I mean, I guess the observation or the awareness of those thoughts is half the work, or over half the work, but really then shifting out of that, I guess it would just be a big surrender into the heart. Now, some may call that a cop-out, some of the skeptics, but really this is the task at hand.
Well, I don't have any time for skeptics. I don't have in my reality, I don't have any skeptics.
Right on. There you go. No skeptics in your reality. Okay.
Yeah, I just don't. I made a choice a long time ago that I don't have time to convince people of this stuff, of ascension or manifest or anything like that. But for those that are trying to understand a deeper awareness of it, a very, very simple way is, don't get caught up on all the thoughts that you've had before the present moment of now. Because if you get caught up on the thoughts of maybe what wasn't aligning for you, then you're going to keep creating that energy. It's always now. You have the potential now. It doesn't matter what you thought yesterday. It doesn't matter what you thought last year. You have the power of now to recreate and realign that. Same way you have the power of now to align to a different dimensional experience or a different timeline. We have infinite potential with the power of now. We have infinite timelines that are continuously being created and reformed and restructured based on the power of now, based on your vibration now. And so if you want total control, if you want total aligned control, it's always now. It's not next week. It's not next year. It's not yesterday. It's not who you were in a previous life. Yes, that does have some playing into it, but you have more of a say, more of an awareness with your now. And we've got to slow down long enough into the now to observe the now, to observe the feeling in the now, to align to the timeline in the now, to be in the now, to be here. There's nothing else. There's only now.
Yes, okay, so we're very present with that. And it brings up a good point about timelines. And you saw some things about manifestation. So this is really allowing us to steer our consciousness and keep it focused on stepping into this new paradigm by being here in the now. So a quick mention about timelines and quantum jumping through infinite timelines. You know, how would we recognize? I know there are some people who say, I see multiple timelines. So what is your, can you share a little bit about how you see timelines and how we can quantum jump through them?
Yeah, so, and I would highly suggest this to anybody. Anytime you're trying to understand something about reality, use your imagination, because that's how we tune into those realities, to those dimensions, is through your imagination. And so for me, when I use my imagination, and I use my imagination through my third eye, I'm shown almost like these crystal strings, and they kind of almost look like straight lines shooting out from my third eye. And when it's almost like this black in between, so there's kind of nothingness, but I have these little crystalline kind of like lines going out. And I see 100, I see 200, I see 2,000, I see 200,000. And it's like when I blink my eye, it kind of sends like a little ripple, like a little vibration down one timeline. And so when I really focus my energy onto one of those lines, with my third eye, I'm then shown images and future images of potentials of the experience of what I could have had. Now, we've experienced that because it's already there. There's no past, there's no present, there's no future. It's always now. So everything, with every single even minusculely thought that you've had, that's created an alternative reality, which, I mean, that's going into a slightly different topic, but for the purposes of this, when I'm tuning into that space, it's almost like I'm showing these different pictures, and I tune into what feels joyful and abundant to my heart. And if my heart's feeling really expanded and open to that particular timeline, I'll spend time really visualizing and ask to be shown more of that timeline, ask to be aligning to that timeline. And quite often what happens with us is sometimes it's just enough to know that we could have had that experience, and by knowing that that could have happened for us, we can align to an even greater potential of that. And sometimes through that we almost kind of quantum jump ahead and receive the experience, receive the lesson that we wanted to have, and then we can align to another one and align to another one. So that's when you're kind of sat there in space. How does that relate to your physical reality? If you want to continuously align yourself to a higher and higher frequency, to a higher and higher potential of your timeline, of your experience, you've got to get really present with your intentions. Every single day, you've got to do the work. You've got to do the work of joy, of play, of really being here and getting in communication with the universe. Bring me the most aligned timeline of my experience. What's the highest vibrational part that I can play in this timeline? What do I need to let go of? What do I need to collapse? And so you can spend time with this using your imagination, using your child, of play, of pretending. What would it feel like for me to have this experience? What would it feel like for me to have that experience? And when you're in total joy and really enjoy, not the ego version of joy, but your heart joy, you're you feel so full, you feel so full and lovely and grounded, that generally is the highest timeline that you wanted to have in your experience. What a lot of people are noticing, particularly this year, is because we are quantum shifting through our realities, our timelines so quickly, timelines are collapsing very, very successfully, which is a good thing. But for the human, for the ego, it can feel very, very ungrounding, very threatening, because when the timeline collapsing, there is this period of space, nothingness, where nothing's attaching, and ego goes out of its way to try and hold on to things, where the heart's like, hey, just be, it's okay, you're loved, you're supported, you're safe, you need to stay in this space long enough for a higher timeline to come in. And that's where people, they start to freak out, right, with the human experience, because they're like, well, what's going to happen? Where am I going to live? What's the job? What's going to happen in relationship? What's going to happen? It just goes on, and the head spins out of control. We need to be embodying our knowing. We need to take a step back. We need to trust in the unknown timeline. If the timeline isn't sticking to you, if you're not having total awareness and understanding of what's coming in for you, good. Have a break in the space. Breathe, ground, open your heart, go and take a walk. It doesn't matter. You don't need to know now. Why do you not need to know now? Because you're probably still letting go of old timelines. And so the space is how you get to quantum jump into another timeline. The space is what your soul needs for you to step into that higher frequency. And so that when they're showing that to me, that's the best way that I can explain it to you in English through human words. But that's that quantum jumping piece. But you've got to relax into the space. I'm actually guided to share this with you because I think you'll find it quite funny. But Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade, Indiana Jones, he always knew that there was going to be treasure for him at some point because he was on that path. He believed, he trusted, he had so much faith that if he kept following the symbology, the cute clues of his reality, that he would align to that treasure because that's who he was. He was Indiana Jones. So in The Last Crusade, he gets halfway through to finding the Holy Grail, and he comes across a big valley in the rocks, and he's like, oh no, like how are we going to get across? There's no rope, there's no ladder. Oh, I've come this far, I'm going to have to turn back. And he starts thinking, and everyone's waiting for him, and the woman's in trouble, you know, and there's a lot of fear there. And so he reads through the riddle again of the book. and he tunes into his heart, and he recognizes in that moment he needs to be the one to trust in the space. He needs to be the one to take a step forward. And so he does, and what happens is a bridge appears, but he was invisible before he took that step. And that is how you align to a higher timeline. That is how you quantum jump into that really yummy, beautiful experience that wants to come in for you. You have to trust in the unknown. You have to trust that the universe does love you, that the universe is working for you, because you are your own universe. So it's just, for me, I just love using that analogy because I really love that Indiana Jones and his passion for life, but particularly that moment where he takes that step forward. And that's where so many people go back, because they don't take that step. And
yeah, we don't take that step.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to. Yes. So, you know, trust is such a huge thing here. So thank you for sharing that. That's really cool how you explained how you see those timelines. And it's true. That is quantum, because if you can see it, it's already there. Now, some would say, well, your imagination is just your imagination. But that's huge. I mean, that really is a very important part here. And you did it through your third eye, and again, through the heart and what's joyful. So thank you for sharing that. Really trusting in the unknown, blinking. I love how you shared how you see it. And I know many are ready to really do that in their own life and blink forward these greater timelines. So what do you do? I know you've got a process for us really shortly here, a sound activation so we can anchor in these light codes. So real quick though, when you see a timeline that doesn't feel right, do you just ignore it and just focus on that which you like, the higher frequency?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, the past month, every single morning I wake up and I'm like, bring me the highest timeline, bring me the highest experience. I want to see rainbows. I want synchronicity. I want to instantly manifest, like, what's in my way? What do I need to let go of? What thoughts are holding me back? And it's a continuous process, because we are the frontiers. We are the new paradigm. We are responsible for our experiences. And so we have a choice, as I said. Do you want to wake up? It's that first piece in the morning is just like when you're coming back from sleep and coming back into your body. Like, you have so much power in that moment. You have so much power in that moment. And so, yeah, it's every day, just reminding.
Okay, beautiful. Well, Zoe, you bring these frequencies through you, and that's what you're here to do on your mission around the world. Take us through an activation so that we can really expand into this multidimensionality.
Sure. Okay. So I just invite everyone to get yourselves comfortable. I'm just going to take a sip of water as well. I would suggest turning the volume up. I'm just conscious of the, because it's late here, normally my activation would be really, really loud. So it's going to be the same frequency, but you might just want to turn your volume up. So just getting into a comfortable position, closing your eyes, allow your shoulders to drop, and just bring your awareness into your breath. Just take nice, long, slow inhalations through the nose and out through the nose. And just really sinking into this moment with your breath. Gifting yourself this space. Breathing through your entire being. And the exhalation, just letting everything go. feeling the soles of your feet planting firmly on the floor, allowing gravity to connect you with Gaia. Allow yourself to feel peaceful and joyful in this space, and knowing that all you need to do is breathe. There's no work. There's nothing for you. Just breathing, opening, and just allowing yourself to receive. And just really sinking into this space. And allowing the crown of your head to gently open as you invite a beautiful crystalline energy, almost like this silvery gold, flowing through the crown of your head and into your entire being, filling it with light. Just really tuning into your imagination, feeling what this energy is like as it flows through your crown and enters your being, cleansing and activating your chakras, your cells, your organs, your tissues. Noticing if you feel a lightness coming in, or a warmth or tingles. Just a sense of feeling of calm. And using your breath to direct this beautiful energy throughout your entire being. Just imagine every single cell activating to this crystalline frequency. Just feeling yourself becoming light. Light and joy, light and love, light and play, light and fun, light and easy, light and breezy. That's how we like to attune you. That's how we like to come through. Light, 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 light. And just allowing this beautiful, yummy, nurturing, crystalline frequency to flow through the soles of your feet now and down into the heart of Gaia, to the crystalline core. And just allowing this sensation as this energy flows through the crown of your head, your being, and down into the center of Gaia, grounding you, supporting you, nurturing you into this space. And on your next inhalation, just drawing this light back up through the earth, through your feet and into your being, into your heart. And radiating it 360 degrees around you, cleansing out your auric field and the space that you're in. Just feel the sensation of this energy, allowing your heart to open. You're safe, you're supported, you're nurtured. And keep breathing in deeply and breathing out deeply. We call for grounding and healing from Mother Earth, the elementals. We call upon our higher selves, call upon our higher hearts, any of our beings of light that wish to be here, the archangels, and calling upon the Lyran Council of Light. As you continue to feel rested and nurtured and supported in this space, just focusing on your breath and just continuing to allow this beautiful energy to flow through your being. And if you're guided to rock your body gently from side to side, you can do so to help channel the energy. And on your next inhalation, Imagine your physical body attuning to your spiritual body, attuning to your emotional body, and aligning to the body of Gaia, aligning to the beautiful crystalline grid that surrounds Gaia, the geometric patterns and codes, the numerology of creation, the portals of existence, the dimensions of time and experience. And just imagine yourself suspended in this space, becoming lighter, becoming crystalline, becoming pure frequency, grounding and attuning yourself into the fifth dimensional grid of Gaia, opening and activating your personal grids, and opening your heart. Aya sukania manasana. Okania takana sunia pa sadonia yano sunia bakana sadoniama. As you open your heart, ayakunia sutuniana kana suniana mana. It is our desire to gift you with these codes, ayana sutunia pa kana suniana ma, to ground into your heart. So you may feel lighter and grounded in the crystalline frequencies that are here for you at this time. With our voice we are attuning you. It is our desire for you to keep opening and receive the energy. Aya sugania mana sagania sutania pakanasa. Aya kanunia mana sadania sutunia punia and sagania. Aya sutania mana sutunia ma sutunika mana sadania sutinia and awania sagania. Ukania pasutunia sudinia sugania sudinia manesconia manasania wania sane. O sadania sunia masania. You sagania sutunia batania sudinia. Ai kunia mana sutunia pakana sutunia pasunia mana sarenia. And breathing into your heart, feeling yourselves expanding into light and breathing out. Allowing your heart to expand. Feeling yourselves opening up to your frequency, to your joy. Remembering, dear ones, it is from this perception, from this point of play that you get to create. For you are expanding through the human ego, you're expanding through the thought processes that have been holding you back in the old paradigm. It is time for you to show the world who you are. It is time for you to create the world as you are. It is time for you to step into the knowing, into the truth. It is time for you to align. It is time for you to ask for what you need. It is time for you to let go of the burdens. It is time for you to let go of the struggles. It is time for you to align, to shine, to wake up, to be free, to be carefree, to dance, to skip, to play in the frequencies that are here for you now. I know sukanya mana sudanya mana sudanya. I go no one mana sudanya mana sakanya. I warn mana sukanya mana sadanya. Kana sutunia maya no sutania mana sakania. Hunia mana suvinia pakania sana. Hu panasania putania sunia pasunia masutua. Hu nia boya sunia masania bo sadania mana sakini wana. Iwana manya no sunia mana sakania no wana sadania. Hi ukania sutania bania. Ku amana sania sunia mana sania. Hi sunia mana sunia. Ikunia man sitini upanesana. And breathing into your heart. And breathing out. And just feeling yourselves grounding, feeling yourselves resting, feeling yourselves supported in this platform, in this container that is being created for you. When you open your heart, when you ground, when you step into alignment with your desires, with your wishes. It brings us great pleasure to be here with you in support, in unison, assisting the collective frequencies at this time to experience more of your joy, of your love, of your higher dimensional alignment. In your heart space now, call in your higher selves, call in your higher aligned desires, call in your imagination, call in your inner child, call in your divine feminine, call in your divine masculine, call in your galactic selves, call in your quantum selves, call in your multidimensional selves, call in your past life selves. Call all energy back to you now, across all time, space dimensions, across all realities. I know and you stand in. Call all of you back to you now. You have all the peace that it is all in you, dear ones. It is always from you, dear ones. It is always creating for you, dear ones. I know opening your heart even more with your breath, feeling your expansion, feeling your knowing, feeling your divine purity, feeling your essence, feeling your potential. And opening up now to the higher frequency, to the higher dimensions. Allow yourself to be showered in a golden activation of light, feeling this light pouring through every single cell of your being, awakening, 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 letting go, resetting, moving through different experiences now, dear one. It is here for you now. It is ready for you now. As sudinia mana sana na sudinia wana. Aku ni sudinia ku ya ni ana ni ya mi asakania sudinia pakana. Ku kunia pu ni sudinia ma sudinia pa sudinia. I'm breathing into this space, breathing into this expansion, breathing into your potential, breathing into your divine light now. allowing yourself to settle, allowing yourself to continue receiving this frequency, settling down, breathing into your physical body, feeling the integration in your cells, in your fingers, in your toes, in your back, in your spine, in your third eye, in your throat, your ears, your head, in your heart, in your sacral, in your solar plexus, in your root. Feel the sensation of love, dear ones. Feeling the sensation of light. Breathing into this crystalline potential of light, of frequency. Oh, breathing into your knowing, breathing into this reminder, and anchoring this energy down into your body and down into Gaia, into the crystalline core, resonating and bringing you into this physical experience with this frequency, with your expanded light, creating from this moment, from this divine potential, breathing into your roots now, anchoring this energy down into this space, feeling this love. Kuniaka, yatukania pasu taniana, uania suena sako, aya so enia sakana. It has been our pleasure to serve in this way. It's been to guide you. Aku that space in your heart. Keep opening every day. Keep grounding into these energies, into your knowing. I asurinia panea sotania. I sutunita. Kitu nia pakua. Kua. Taking a nice deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Making a noise on the exhalation, energizing the body once more, feeling this sensation, breathing in, breathing out, and breathing in, and breathing out, and shaking your body. Just coming back into physical experience, bringing this frequency with you, bringing this joy with you, bringing this expansion with you, bringing this love with you, bringing this grounding with you, feeling nurtured, feeling nourished, feeling supported, feeling guided of love, of your potential, of your expansion, feeling the shift within your body, giving yourselves a big hug, wrapping your arms around. I love you, 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 honoring your physical experience, honoring your human experience, but honoring your multidimensional experience, honoring your multidimensional capacity, honoring your multidimensional potential in the here, in the now, in the physical reality, creating from free form, creating from crystalline frequency, creating from your heart, creating from your joy, settling back into the space, and slowly, slowly, slowly coming back into circle, opening your eyes. Ayakupa satanayata.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
I guess that needed to be said twice because I heard an echo. Isn't that interesting? Wow. You know, that was so beautiful, Zoe, connecting to the crystalline frequency, the sounds that you brought forward, we could definitely feel those frequencies in our body, in our auric field. You have really activated New Earth healers, New Earth leaders, New Earth creators. So beautiful. We do feel very supported and nurtured. And I know that many are still floating as we experience this beautiful sensation of light. That was indeed very, very powerful. Wow, and I know that many people may still be in this other realm. And when we opened our eyes, it almost felt like new eyes that we were seeing through, very sparkly, very crystal. So, my goodness, these activations, this will continue to work with us, yes?
Yeah. Yeah, it's my guys tell me once you receive the particular actions, like it's within you, it's activated, it's kind of like it wakes you up. And that's the beauty of these. And I highly recommend, like, people listening and those on the replay, like, you have this, like, go through it as many times as you're guided to on the replay. And each time you receive, there'll be something different for you. That's the beauty of it. There's so much ingrained in the frequency through the language, the vibration that I carry. It's infinite. It's beautiful.
Well, I know these downloads that many of us receive today, all of us receive these downloads. We will begin to decode them and understand them as they blossom really in our life. So thank you for that. Again, the sound that you brought forth was really exquisite. The light language as well. Oh my, really vibrations within my body. And I just always find that so exquisite. Again, the mind tries to quantify it, but what we felt in that episode was purely through the heart, and that's what we need to pay attention to. So that is wonderful. What a beautiful crystalline light activation. You have more of these that you offer to really help people in this ascension alignment, as you call it. So we're going to take a few callers or some questions from some callers, but I want to give you a moment to explain some of these crystalline light activations. This is really significant work that people can do on their individual journey. So share a little bit about this special offer that you have.
Sure. So the offer I put together for your audience is a live program that I ran back in May. And what's really beautiful about this program is it's 5 activations, and each activation was transmitted live from Hawaii, from Mount Shasta, from Vancouver Island, and from California. And so really beautiful high vortex areas. I created an activated crystal grid within each of these places for the live recording. And I set the intentions with my council that when you would listen to them again, it takes you back to that portal, to that frequency. And so they're very, very, very powerful, not only because of the frequency that was coming through, but because of the specific location, the physical location of where they were recorded. And so I then offer together where you get to the crystalline light code activation. So it's designed to be a 5-week course. So you listen to 1 activation a week. It's a 90-minute activation. And you are then encouraged and guided to listen to the activations many times as you feel drawn to. The people in the live program, sometimes they would be like 10, 15, 20 times. They just really loved the impact that it was making. on their, not only their well-being, but their ability to show up in a more expanded way in their physical reality. And so, yeah, so you get 5 90-minute of these recorded activations, and then also you get an additional channeled PDF document that I worked with my guides, giving you a bit more information about the crystalline grid and dimensions, and more information that would be congruent for the activations. I would like to, anyone that's guided to sign up, allow a 3-month integration process. So there's 5 weeks of listening to the activations, and allow 3 months of integration, because as with any healing modality, we need to give it time to adjust into our physical reality. And this is really important, like through listening to them, that you treat it like you're going to see like a Reiki therapist or an energy healer, that you want to have your self-care, like really being mindful of the self-care to really support you through the activations. They are designed to literally release and shake down to the root core of your emotional, physical, and energetic being. They're designed to unify your field, they're designed to expand your field, and they're designed to ground your field into the crystalline grid and into your ascending crystalline light bodies. So the activations, there's a crystalline alignment and higher self connection activation. There's an Atlantis crystal blue heart opening activation. This is probably my favorite one actually that came through. And there's a golden dimensional ray of abundant receiving. There's a harmonizing with Gaia and all creation, and then there's an expand, anchor, and align with the divine flow. And so they're very much designed to work in harmony with each other. So when you've kind of listened to one and you go to week 2, week 3, keep listening to week 1 and 2 and 3, like as you're guided to. And then when you've completed all 5, feel free to go back and listen to them in any order that you feel guided to. I know a lot of my clients have their favorites, so they have their go-to one that they listen to like once a week or something. So it's a really beautiful course. It's very similar to what you've received, and it's a lot of activation within each call. So it really is designed to get you into that expanded space, because when we're in that expanded space, we're through our stuff, we're through our stories, we're through our fear, we're through our scarcity mindset, and we are in that potential, that really beautiful, yummy potential of unknown, and it will help to anchor you more into your heart, more into feeling love, more into feeling aligned with your human experience. I know for me, when I hosted the activations, but for me, the accelerated change that happened in my life afterwards was phenomenal. I can't even begin to put into words, but it was the feeling that I started to get. It was like a real resonance with source energy, a real resonance with this high frequency that I've always known I could have access to, and it's just coming into abundance now. It just flows through so easily. So these activations are a really great way to connect with that understanding and owning that understanding and being in that knowing with it. So in addition to that, there was an extra workshop that I wanted to include, because a lot of people during those activations were asking about crystals and how to activate crystals. So I put on a 2-hour crystalline activation workshop that's helping you to work with your crystals. It teaches you how to open portals within crystals. It teaches you how to have a better connection with crystals, and using crystals as your friends, and how to activate them so that they can support you more with your path. And then I've also included a PDF copy of my book called Love is the Answer. And this, for me, is a really beautiful addition to help with the human experience, help with the self-love piece, which to me, self-love is the most fundamental building block of your reality, of your experience, of your expansion, of your multidimensional capacity. It all comes from self-love. It all stems from there. So yeah, so I put all that together for you guys for $97. So I made a good price, and that's all 5 activations, the Crystalline Activation Workshop and the book. So if you're guided to, if you resonated with the activation you received today, then I guarantee you there's something really beautiful for you in that program, and you'll really enjoy it. And feel free to reach out to me when you start the program, and I will be on hand, and I can, if you have any questions and things while you're doing it, like please reach out to me, and I'm here to support you.
Beautiful, Zoe. Thank you so much. And we're going to let you know, you're going to know all the people who take you up on that offer so you can connect with them as well. Get ready for this deep integration of really aligning to these higher frequencies. We're so glad, Zoe, that you have felt that acceleration in your life, and you are bringing forward beautiful energies assisting in this ascension process for so many others as well. Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, let's, of course, that special offer is available on the special offer button on this webpage. We have time for a few questions coming in. Let's go to Marla in Millbury, Massachusetts. Hi, Marla.
Well, hello. Thank you,
Hi.
Lauren.
Hi.
Lucky this week. Hi.
Yes.
Yeah, I love this work. She's phenomenal. And while she was going through all of the light work, the light languages, I got up kind of in a trance state, and I went to my computer, and I ordered Eckhart Tolle's Teaching Presence, and I ordered flute lessons. I hope I'm on the right track. We'll see what
you
she
ordered
says.
What? You ordered what?
Flute lessons. I have a Native American flute that I haven't had the time or the drive, to get into it. Yeah. So I'm hoping.
Awesome. Oh,
thank you.
Beautiful. How can we support you, Marla? Do you have a question?
I'm just curious. I wanted to tell you what happened, but I'm curious what your take is on everything.
I think you don't need my permission. I think you know exactly what you're doing. You trusted in what you need, and it sounds amazing. I think that's really good.
I didn't before. When we started out in the call, I had no idea.
Beautiful.
You've been activated, Marla.
Okay, so I'm okay.
Well, see, because now you're living through the joy. Your higher self wants you to express through the flute, and you took action, and there you go. Have fun with that.
I hope so. I'll let you know, Lauren, how successful I am with it. But it's very exciting. And again, thank you. I guess I already received my gift.
Yes. You have been activated. Yes, you've listened. Beautiful.
Yeah, I did.
Thanks,
She's wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, I know the sound. I mean, literally, I've got headphones on, and it was just so rich and vibrant, and I'm still feeling the sparkles. Yes, it was beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful sounds. Thank you very much, both of you.
Okay, thanks for sharing, Marla. Good luck with that.
No problem.
Okay. Zoe, can you share with us what it was like for you when you first began to bring forth light language? What was that experience like?
So I used to speak light language when I was a kid, when I was younger. And I also used to speak to walls, but then I had memories that I wasn't actually speaking to a wall, I was speaking into a different dimension.
Oh, see, that's cool.
But my human thought I was speaking to a wall. Yeah, and to be honest with you, like I haven't like spoken a lot of light language like publicly. It's only been this year that I'm like, okay, I better start sharing this as well.
Wow.
But yeah, it's now I've started that it's almost like this fluency. There's all these different languages that come through dependent on the frequency that I'm channeling. But I love it. It's great. It's beautiful. I feel so, for me, it feels like home. It feels like home when I'm speaking.
Yes.
And same with the frequency, same with the activations. Like it feels like home. I feel, so, I don't know what it's like for you, Loren, but for me, when I'm toning, it's like the tone is separated into like a million different frequency, and within those frequencies, I can see all these little codes, these little symbols, and then they bind together again to make that sound. And it's like in my ear, it's like it takes me on this journey. I feel like I'm on this journey for like 100 years or something, and it's only the length of a breath. It's beautiful. I love it. It's just my heart opens and expands, and it's like feels so yummy and so loved, so loved, so loved.
Mhm. Okay, so beautiful. Well, thank you for sharing on that. I know a lot of people are beginning to speak light language now, because it does, sometimes even if that's toning or even if it's painting, that is a form of light language in itself. So we are just becoming more connected to it, and sometimes maybe we just start toning and we're not even aware of why we're toning. But wouldn't you say that it's because something's going on with the energy? We are bringing forth some energy to this now moment.
Mhm. Yeah, it's okay, so what my guide is saying is we are in these kind of preparation stages right now. We've collectively we've reached a point in mass consciousness where this can come through, and we're going to be finding more and more potential of light language, of creativity, of codes, of just so much more is just going to flow through so effortlessly. In terms of a timeline, the next 10 years from now is going to see some of the most exploded creativity known to man. It's just going to hit the roof, like art classes, singing, dancing, cooking, it's just going to explode. And what people are going to find is that the more they introduce creativity into their businesses, the more their businesses are going to thrive, because the frequency can come through in that creativity. And it's bringing it into that divine feminine. It's bringing it into that, allowing her to play and be creative. But it's all starting to come out now, and it's really, really, really interesting and exciting at the same time. True to my word, I speak to a lot of my clients about stepping into their inner child and bringing joy back in. And so I'm always recommending, certain courses to take and things. And so I myself have actually signed up to an art course that's going to start next week, and a singing course, and a drama course, and a life drawing course. They're kind of like the all or nothing in me just signed up to a bunch of them. But it's so important for what I'm bringing through is to bring it through in that physical creativity as well. But yeah, I think you're going to find like a lot of us are going to, it's almost like we're going to be needing to channel this energy somehow. And so through creative projects, more of that alignment can come through. It's almost like what my guides are saying is like when you do that, you can anchor more of it into your physical experience, and a lot of ideas and questions will start to be answered through that creativity, while speaking light language and toning at the same time. It's just so much. It's beautiful.
It is indeed a great renaissance of these arts and the joy and the creativity. And yeah, even myself, I was thinking, I really want to take an art class. And so this is what's happening to so many of us. So go for it and actually live that passion. You can create streams of income from that passion. It really is New Earth, and we are supported in so many ways. And it's wonderful that even Marla, as we spoke to, was activated on this call to live and to really tap into that creativity that wants to come out through her, through that music. So, you know, singing, I know that's one of my favorites. I'm not the best singer, my family will tell you, but it is something that's fun. It really is shamanic. So as more and more of us step into that creativity, doing what we love, we will be supported. And again, I can't say enough that that is New Earth. So thank you for that. Well, Zoe, it is very late for you, but there's a couple hands up. I'm just going to take one more caller before we call the show over for us today. Let's go to Gloria in Arlington Heights. Hi, Gloria.
Hi, Lauren. Thank you for taking my
Hi.
call.
Thank
Hi.
you. How are those energies in the activation?
Oh my God. So I'm glad I was in line. I'm a sound healer as well. So I don't do the light language, but I do tone. And I tone into a drum, into a it's like a frame drum, and it does this really cool echo, it reverberates at a yoga studio. I do this a couple times, or at different yoga studios, and I have to say that was a really cool activation. Number one, it was amazing. Very.
Thank you.
Just speaking for one person that does similar work to you, and I don't know if it's more of a question, but I thought it was fascinating when you were talking about the self-love and I mean, I suppose we all on some level know that's where it needs to start, but it's so interesting because I've been doing this work for a while too, and I just got this really amazing hit of how there was this emptiness within me this morning about feeling self-love from the father figure and how I'd never had that. And for some reason, when you were talking about it, even in the beginning of the call, something you said, and then again at the end, and it was just like so amazing of like, there's just so many layers. I don't even know what I'm saying. I guess I don't have a question. I'm just commenting. But it was just a beautiful activation, and there's so many layers to go through. And just thank you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, hon. And yeah, like what we find is the more we step into our knowing, the more we step into our sovereign being, these human attachments we have to other people, they literally dissipate. And what we find is actually a lot of the attachments we had were from residual past lives. The way we're going to have family connections is evolving and changing. The way we're having relationships is evolving and changing. The way we're having friendships is evolving and changing. And so if you keep working on the self-love piece, the rest will align for you, because you'll fill yourself up with so much that you will release that ancestral line, and you will come into that unconditional love for what he mirrored to you at the time, and that connection, and why he needed to be that particular person for you. So
okay. Fascinating. I figured it was something. I figured there was some reason. It was so interesting. I'd never felt that, because it was basically, I was saying, what would it feel like to feel completely loved from a father figure? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I never really, I was so used to not having it. You get used to that. And then when I thought, well, what would it feel like to have it? I was like, oh my God, wow, I don't know what it would feel like. And it was wild. So, and that was just this morning. So, funny.
So a good one to say, what would it feel like to be so totally in love with myself? What would it feel like to wake up every morning to myself and look in the mirror and be like, hey, you, how are you doing? I'm good. How can I support you today? How can I love you today? What do you need from me?
Nice. Nice. Okay. I like that. I like that a lot.
You're welcome.
Great.
All my love.
Thank you. Thank you, love.
Thanks, Gloria. Beautiful. Well, Zoe, a wonderful show, and we will continue to integrate these. And again, for all of those who wish to go deeper in this and work with the crystalline light activations that you present, we invite our listeners to check that out. Again, the 3 months of integration really does make sense, and to really use it at this very potent time right now as we are anchoring in the higher timelines and really stepping into our supreme mastery. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As we say goodbye, would you like to share any last message, channeling, or light language?
Sure. Ai kunia sutunia paya sotana. Ai kunia sona. Ai sutunia paya sa. Ai sunia panasana. Ai sunia manasana yana. Andinu sunia manasana. When you dance softly in your hearts and walk lightly on the earth, you will find yourselves. You will find yourselves at the start. You will find yourselves as the creator. You will find yourselves as the magnificent beings that you truly are. It is our wish for you to receive. It is our wish for you to receive who you are, to explore, to create from this knowing. Ania sunia manasana kana. Adania sunia manayasana. You are always loved. You are always supported. And a message from me, it's been such a beautiful gift to have come together with all of you listening today and to be have been invited by Loren. Thank you so much. And to be receiving my joy and my love. It's just, my heart just so in love with us, with reality, with humans, with everything. There's just so much beauty here for us. So thank you all for everything that you're doing in your lives to better yourselves, to show up for yourselves authentically, and to be moving along and being a part of the new paradigm, being the game changers of reality. I'm so in love with you for that. Thank you so much for just being who you are. You're perfect. You're so perfect. So keep reminding yourselves of that. Keep owning that. Keep honoring that. And just keep being who you are. So thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Inspiring and comforting words. Zoe Davenport, thank you for being here on Quantum Conversations. Now, thank you for listening. If you've enjoyed this program, please share it with your friends and loved ones. And we thank you for shining your magnificent light and adding it to the world. This is when we love ourselves like no one else can. We leave you now with music from the universe. Music literally created by the universe, as musical notes were assigned to mathematical equations. The result is this beautiful music, available at acoustichealth.com. Namaste. you.